Hello, everyone. Welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot in a red state, utilizing tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. The focus of today's reading is going to be capitalism versus fascism. So Jimmy Kimmel is back. So excited to see that. I think Disney has and ABC maybe have learned a lesson. We'll see. There was on CNN, they had a segment on the return of Jimmy Kimmel, and that the average view for his videos have been like 240,000 over the last 6 months. The views for that opening monologue on YouTube right now is sitting at 20 million views. And that was just as I checked just before I started recording this. So I'm assuming that this, that is going to continue to grow. And so Trump, of course, got his panties in a wad over that and was like, well, ABC has already paid me 15 million, maybe they need to pay me more. And so this is a lesson in stand up to the damn bully. Okay. Yeah. ABC, you paid him $15 million and look at what it got you. Nothing. And so because I was like, what was that? What was it that ABC had to even pay that for? And that specific, I did look it up, was George Stephanopoulos repeatedly said that Donald Trump had been, quote, found liable for rape. And the judge who oversaw that case said, no, yeah, that's exactly what that means. That is exactly, he's an adjudicated rapist. That's what that means. That I am quoting the judge on that. So, yeah, this is, Professor Timothy Snyder, his book on tyranny, the very first thing is don't obey in advance. So that's not, we're not going to obey in advance, okay? And ABC maybe has learned that lesson, I hope. So what I want to do is I want to look into just like what's going to happen now. I don't think that what I got in the previous reading was that Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers are next. I do expect that to... Hopefully NBC has learned a lesson by watching what is happening. So I want to look into their shows. I want to look into, our companies, and I don't want to just limit this to capitalism versus fascism, to just the talk show hosts, but are these companies going to realize that they need to stand up to Trump? Because if they don't, there's power in the people and there's power in our wallets. So, what's going to win out here? These companies, who are they going to support? Are they going to support capitalism or are they going to support fascism? And we, the people, have a voice in that, as we just saw all of that play out in this past week. The other thing I do want to mention here real quick before I get into the reading, is about Brendan Carr. And is he going to continue with his promise to pull media licenses, especially after the South Park? I'm recording this on Thursday, so I just saw South Park last night. Oh my God, that was so funny on so many levels. It brings me great joy to know that, like, in 100 years, when students of history are, looking and studying this point in history, that they're going to be looking at South Park. And it just makes me so happy to know that that is out there for future generations to know how we fought against fascism. So just wanted to give a shout out there to South Park because it was freaking fantastic. So capitalism versus fascism. I just want to start with that base reading, and then I'll kind of see where that goes. And I do want to get into kind of like NBC. What are they going to do? And Brendan Carr. So, capitalism versus fascism. What can we expect? Are these American companies starting to realize that, people have had it? It is, I will maintain this, it is not in the DNA of the American people to, be ruled by a little wannabe dictator. So it's just not gonna, I don't see this as scary as it is right now, and I do think it's gonna get worse before it gets better. It does get better, okay? I will say that. So, capitalism versus fascism. What can we, are these companies realizing that they have a choice to make? Base reading into that. As always, these are for entertainment purposes only. Let's see. Are these companies realizing that they need to star card their hopes, wishes, and dreams? And that's the very center of this. I'm going to be real interested in what the challenge is. And the challenge is, what do we do? And it's like, you guys, you have primed us and have, taught us to be these good little capitalists, and now we're expecting you to support our Constitution. And they're wondering, like, what the hell are we going to do? That's the first thing I thought of when I saw this card. And this is a card of communications. It's also looking out into the future. This is ships coming in, but it could also be ships going out. So this is a card so I'm almost feeling the decisions that is in this card, and like, what are we gonna do? And it's like, yep. And that should be a really easy answer. You support, the American Constitution and our freedoms, which includes their freedom of capitalism. Okay. The overarching energy coming into this is the crazy. Okay, this is just all the crazy. Let me take a minute and look at this. What I'm noticing here with this is just the waves coming up and splashing up. So this is not calm waters. The crazy is going to continue. Okay, and if anything, it's just going to get worse. The foundation is the Sun card. I'm going to do more on that because these two cards together, I'm almost feeling like Trump is having a great time. He thinks this is just like, this is the way, this is everything that he planned to do, he's doing. And in the past, King of Pentacles, these are going to be those companies, those oligarchs, and the past actions. And they really thought, I don't think that they thought it would get this bad. It's like, what the... They thought if they just capitulated and bent the knee that Trump would leave them alone. And now they're finding that that's not what's going on at all. It's like, this is their worst nightmare. Not only are they having to, they're having to pay him, the bully, but they're also losing customers because of their capitulation and bending of the knee. And the Page of Cups. What are we going to do? Pages are messages, and cups are going to be the emotions. So these are emotional messages. If you pair these two together, this is the toddler in chief. And that's exactly what we've got right now. These unhinged messages coming out of the White House. And it's like, I keep saying, the part of his brain that's making decisions should not be making any decisions for this country. Okay. I mean, he's, what is it? The I've Had It podcast women. They're like, he is presenting as a patient who has escaped memory care and needs to go back. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing here. So these oligarchs and the owners of these companies, I'm almost getting this feeling like, if I were to look at these cards, these are all actually really good cards. It's like our hopes and dreams. We just need to wait it out and it's all going to be fine. And it's like, no, actually it isn't going to be fine. He is your worst nightmare. No matter how you spin it, the American people are not going to have this. And so are these kings, going to finally, grow a pair and stand up to the little wannabe dictator? Because if they don't, they deserve everything that's going to come to them by way of the rest of the American people standing up to them. So these King of Pentacles, and I'm going to take this as those companies, because right now I'm getting this feeling like they're kind of like they don't know what to do, and it's like, stand up to the bully. I think your customers have told you what to do. Okay, so are they going to get the message loud and clear? I know that whenever I canceled our Hulu and Disney, and we still have episodes left to go in Only Murders in the Building, and I'm like, nope, not gonna. It's canceled. And so I along with how many other thousands, if not millions of customers took great pleasure in telling them exactly why we were canceling. Okay. I was very nice to the customer service. It's like, I know it's not your fault, but this is why. And so money, the almighty dollar, is going to speak. That's the very center here, the almighty dollar. And that is what, I mean, good, bad, and different, that is the backbone of our country. And also the challenge to the almighty dollar is also going to be our Constitution, our country. Is this, like, what is it that they see? What world do they see themselves existing in when there are no customers to purchase their products? That's the challenge. That's it's come almost like I'm getting this feeling of this, like coming to Jesus moment, quite literally. Like, what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose? And that's what this reading is about. And the almighty dollar, that speaks to them. So if they're losing, it's almost like I get this feeling of from them with these cards here, is okay. If we piss the American people off, this is where we're gonna lose this much money. But if we piss Donald Trump off, then we could lose this much money. And it's like, take him to court. He will lose. It's like, God damn, this isn't that difficult, you people. Yeah, they're trying to figure out how they're going to navigate this. Oh my God. This is it. No kidding. It's your worst nightmare. I cannot. I gotta tell you guys, the feeling, the energy, the feeling I'm getting from this is that they are like, I get the deer in the headlight looks, like they have no idea what to do. They are paralyzed because, well, if we piss off the American people, we lose money. But if we piss off Donald Trump, we lose money. And it's like, okay, well, he's an 80, or what, how old is he? Like 79, frail health, not going to be around forever. And, you're going to, if you take your chances on that versus the American people, which should be your bread and butter, I don't have any sympathy for you whatsoever. But that's the feeling I'm getting in this, is like, they're really like, we don't know what to do. And it's like, take a breath. You stand up to the bully. Okay. And messaging. I mean, they really are looking at this like, how can we spin this? It's their worst nightmare, and the outcome, how can we go forward? How can we, this agreement and going forward? Unless you stand up to the bully, it's not, no. I don't care what kind of discount you're giving. We just won't finish the end of only murders in the building. Sorry, but that's just the way that is. So how are they going to figure out going forward here? A lot of fiery energy, a lot of messaging, a lot of communications. I wouldn't be surprised if there's not communications. Not only, it's almost like within the legal departments, but I'm also feeling this communication going on with other CEOs. Like, what are we going to do? And I'm kind of seeing, hopefully, conversations like around like what the colleges have done, that pack, and if they will stand up and like come together. I think some companies are thinking that they need like this unified message, this unified leader that's going to take that on, and this is what we're going to do, the messaging. And there's a lot of fire here, a lot of fiery messaging here. Money. I think the almighty dollar is going to be what is, and so the message around money is an ending and laying in rest. So let me just make sure that is, are they siding with the almighty dollar over Trump? Oops. I'll get to those in just a second. Are they going to side with the almighty dollar? They're confused. The betrayal, I think they're seeing the betrayal of Trump, but they're also feeling what happens when they betray their customers. And they're wanting this all to go away. They want to just move on from this. And I think that they need to start waking up. But what's this? Moon card. trying to keep things hidden and winning at all cost. That's that card. But what did you win? I think that they actually are trying to figure out, they're trying to figure out how to appease Trump while also appeasing their customers. I'm kind of doing like a broad thing, not just Disney and Hulu, but like, you know, NBC, like companies in general. Right now, it's going to come up more in the media companies, because that's where a lot of that energy is focused right now, on Disney, on NBC, and I'm not getting a solid answer on that. I don't know that we're going to actually see them stand up to the bully, because they're terrified. Okay. And I'm finding that being the common theme here is they're terrified. They don't know. It really is, do we appease Trump? But they need to realize they're not going to be able to do that. Okay. Does the bully who, you know, shake you down for your lunch money, do they stop once? No, they keep going, and Trump is demonstrating that. And I think that this Disney thing, it shows, and ABC, this I'm getting this feeling like like they're starting to wake up to that. The American people have been saying this for how many months? And they're just like, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't do that. I mean, that really is the feeling I'm getting. And it's a very frustrating feeling. So I don't know if I'm feeling just my frustration with them, or like their frustration with Trump. I mean, I'm kind of feeling like it's all the frustration for everybody. So let's see let me just do a real short. Is Trump going to try to sue ABC again? Okay, as far as suing ABC, he's waiting. There's like 3 things he's juggling, which, I mean, ABC, CBS, and NBC, that would be, you know, those, and Victory, and waiting to see. He is prepared to do so. He really thinks he'll be victorious. He thinks that they will just give him what he wants. And I think that this Hanged Man are they? Because this is almost giving me the feeling like he tries, but then he's left wanting. Like it's not going to be going the way he wants it to. The Hanged Man. Is it putting everything out there, manipulating the situation for what he wants, and directing Pam Bondi to do it? Yeah, he's going to continue. He will continue. And I was asking specifically about ABC. So expect some kind of legal something to come out of that. Brendan Carr. I'm going to move on to what time? Yeah, I want to move on to that. Is he going to, what's Brendan Carr going to do with NBC? Okay, and with NBC, there's an offer, an emotional offer. Let's see, and the challenge is do this now. There's a lot of it's almost like this feeling, the cups, the cups are going to be all the emotions. These are positive emotions. These are also going to be like some of those more lower energy emotions. So the bullying, the threatening, all of that is encompassed in this. And when I ask anything about the Trump administration, these cards will always be read in the lower energy. So I was asking about Brendan Carr, and like, yeah, he'd love to do this. There is no 2 ways about it. He absolutely has every intentions on following through with his desires, which is pulling these licenses. And this is the rash action that will be taken. I mean, seriously, when I watch Rachel Maddow on Monday nights, there's times where I'm like, I'm expecting to see, you know, we're experiencing technical difficulties, you know, at any moment. And I don't know that it will be quite that drastic where they just go dark, but there'll be some leading up to it. But I do see that, yeah, he's absolutely has every intention of following through with that. Pam Bondi, I get her, as the little cheerleader out there for Trump. She's going to be out there with Brendan Carr, providing cover. And they have, yes, victory. They're manipulating the situation and quickly. So, hi, Kim. I'm going to think of that. I have a friend and she just loves this card. And so what's really neat about this card is I just really like the what is that, Saturn back there? Jupiter. It's just really pretty. It's just a pretty card. So, I just really like that. And then, so very quickly, this messaging. And so, yeah, Pam Bondi's going to give them cover. So I'm going to ask this quickly. When can we win? When can we expect more of this? And with when, money, they're going to threaten them with fines first. Give us what we want. It's like, I'm getting, what I'm seeing is like bribes. Like, if you give us money, then we won't do this. Like, they're going to try to make it like fines, but it's really not. I mean, they're saying it's fines, but it isn't. And yeah, he's going to do it. He is absolutely going to do it. Okay, I paused that just for a minute because I wanted to look something up on this card here, my Robin Wood deck. So I found my Robin Wood book that I've had for, I don't know, decades. And it's, one of my dogs had chewed up the corner of it. But I just wondered, this card here is a little bit different in the Robin Wood deck. And this is Jupiter. And in the background, I wanted to read what she read, why she put Jupiter in here. And this is a card, Jupiter is a planet of expansion, especially in astrology. Jupiter is our good luck planet, and it's like good luck and expansion. So like whenever you have a Jupiter return, expect a lot of good things, but also people, astrologers will also warn, like you could gain weight whenever you've got, the Jupiter in certain houses, just because it's that card of expansion. So this is a card of expanding one's agenda very quickly, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. So yeah. Oh, and I was asking when, let's see. Within, I would say within these next 6 weeks. But with the quick card, it wouldn't surprise me if it's not a lot sooner, if it's not like within days. I mean, I'm feeling like the quick card with this, kind of like together, is making me feel like this could be more days rather than weeks. Okay, just because it's a little quicker card there. Okay. So with today's reading on capitalism versus fascism, I did not get a clear answer as far as, are these companies figuring it out? And it's like, no, they're not. They are honestly, they are looking at, okay, so we can lose this many customers and still be okay, or we can pay this many fines. Like they literally are looking at the numbers and trying to strategically figure out what is most advantageous for them in this capitalistic hellscape that we have found ourselves in. So, the capitalists are going to just continue on this capitalistic route of what makes more financial sense to them. That's what came out in today's reading. Okay, so anyway, we're going to take a deep breath and we're just going to be like, we're going to keep doing what we can do, which is we're going to stand up and we're going to make sure that financial hit is felt by these companies that capitulate and bend the knee. So, and Brendan Carr, yeah, he's going to continue. And I would expect them to, he's going to pull. Everything that is here is indicating he has every intention to pull licenses. And I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start with, NBC. Jimmy Kimmel's really pissed him off though too. So, and then you've got South Park. So, I mean, like it may be, a 3-for-1 all in one day. So I will keep watching this and I will do those readings as necessary. So I really appreciate you joining me. Like, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a great day.